Hello everyone, Arthelon here, hoping to juice you up with some info on rogue talents, your leveling, PvP, and PvE specs. So let's just dive right in. For leveling, I'm going to be putting in points so you can see at what levels, what talents you get. So to start off, you would obviously get Sinister Strike. You're using Sinister Strike pretty much always. And then Improved Gouge, which I think is better than Improved Dodge because for world PvP purposes and also when you gouge a mob, you can bandage right afterwards, and this talent, by filling it in, you get 2 or 3 more ticks of bandage off, which is really important for survivability. And it's really good for just running away from a mob if you don't need to kill it and just running away from it. And then after that, chance to hit, of course, probably the best talent for rogues while leveling. You don't want to miss your attacks, or you'll just die. And then it's kind of preference, but I really do like taking repost while leveling. So after this, you would be taking your parry chance and then repost. Repost is really good because you will be parrying a decent amount. And when you do, this attack is only 5 energy, and it deals 150% of your weapon damage. So it's a really good skill for damage, but it also disarms the target for 6 seconds, which comes in handy sometimes, but usually not. After that, you take your offhand weapon damage, of course, and then Blade Flurry, really important cooldown to have. You can kill 2 mobs at the same time when it's up. And then after this, you have some options. If you want to get weapon specialization, go ahead. Swords is probably the best, but usually while I was leveling, I was using all kinds of different weapons. Maces, swords. Sometimes I'd use a dagger, but usually not, because what you want is the highest weapon damage weapon you can possibly get, and obviously the weapon doesn't actually matter what it is. So I prefer just to not get any weapon specialization while leveling because I don't know which weapons I'm going to be using. I know specifically in the level like 47 or 48 range I was using maces. So if you know you're going to be using one weapon type, definitely go for swords probably, but like I said, you never know what weapons you'll be using. So after that, you can pretty much put it into anything. I like taking endurance for reduced sprint and evasion cooldowns, because evasion really helps for killing elite mobs if you have to kill elite mobs, or just in general for survivability purposes. And then you have 1 point you can basically put it into anything. Maybe sprint, chance to get rid of movement impairing effects, or 1% dodge. 1% dodge is definitely the best. It's the most reliable, that is, because it's just 1% dodge. So after that, you just fill it in with the rest of the PvE talents pretty much. In Assassination, you would get Malice. Murder is really good because you're going to be fighting lots of humanoids and beasts, maybe some dragons here and there, but Improved Slice and Dice, of course. Lethality, increased critical strike damage is insane. I think before that, though, you would put 1 point into Relentless Strikes, which is, it's bugged in the state, but it's 20% per combo point, so if you have 5 combo points, you're guaranteed to get 25 energy. And after that, you just fill the rest in Improved Poisons. This is the most damage output out of these 3 talents, so you definitely just take that. And that's it for leveling. After this, you would respec probably, and you just go into your combat PvE spec, which is this. Combat swords. Technically, you could just take dodge chance here, but since you're going to be world PvPing and most likely you're going to be killing stuff for farming, I like Improved Gouge still. And then you have 1 point to spare after you take these 2. You can put it into dodge or parry, doesn't really matter. And then obviously you would take sword specialization, because the weapons you will be using most likely for pre-raid is the Dalaran set, which are both their swords. And then after that, the best is the Viscag and Maya Song. So you'll be using swords for a while. Other than that, you take the same as you would with your leveling spec, Improved Poisons, and you lose 1 point here because you have to put 5 into sword specialization. If you're going Dagger Rogue, for whatever reason, if your guild needs it, or you just get daggers before you get swords, this is your dagger spec, and you're using backstab instead of sinister strike, so you get improved backstab, you'd get opportunity, which is 20% damage on your backstab, and then you take 1 less point into aggression because you're not using sinister strike. But otherwise it's the same. And then for PvP, which keep in mind for PvP it is your preference because every player is different when it comes to PvP. I like taking all the utility talents because I feel like rogues they're not the best damage dealers because they're easily kited and kind of counterable, honestly. So their best use is when they are stealthed and they're just controlling the battlefield or just ceasing people being a nuisance. So with that in mind, you would take increased stealth chance, you would take increased movement speed while stealth and reduced stealth cooldown. Really important for getting in and out of stealth and also just being able to catch people while stealthed. Lucidness, a really talent, 1.5 minute cooldown on your Vanish and Blind. Initiative, which gives you a combo point usually after you cheap shot someone. You don't have to take Ghostly Strike, but I think it's pretty good. It's 15% dodge change for 7 seconds, and it's a pretty good damage ability as well. It's 5 less energy than Sinister Strike, I think, and it has similar damage. So not a bad cooldown at all, or ability to have. Sap, improved sap is really important because you don't want to get out of stealth when you sap someone. It will still happen, but it's a very rare chance. If you sap someone and there's other people around, you don't want to get a dot on you or something because you just get out of stealth. This talent gives you armor penetration and rupture ability damage, but I don't think you use rupture that much. Hemorrhage is really good. Oh wait, I think I made a mistake. Yeah, you're not supposed to have Sinister Strike with Hemorrhage. I forgot. That was my bad. So you just put these points into attack power instead. But you'd use Hemorrhage, Dirty Deeds, Preparation, of course. You don't have to take Heightened Senses. You could just put 2 more points into Deadliness. But I really like this because it's good against mages, warlocks, and hunters, which rogues are pretty bad at dealing with if they get the opener on you or whatever. 4% chance to not get hit by ranged abilities and spells. I think it's really good. And then, of course, more chance to see someone while they're stealthed, which is really important as a rogue to find other rogues. And then you'd fill the rest out in Assassination, kind of the same as the PvE specs. You don't have to take improved exposed armor, but I like it because if you ever need to kill a paladin or a shaman or a warrior, you will want to use exposed armor on them, and this talent increases that amount by a lot, 50%. Then you put your 2 points into improved poisons and then get cold blood, and you call it a day. So, yeah, you could use daggers. If you're using daggers for PvP, you would probably take opportunity instead of master deception, and maybe you'd go into improved backstab, but I wouldn't recommend that. Another option, of course, you can take these 2 points and you can put it into improved gouge. I don't think gouge is that important because in this instance you will be able to re-stealth faster anyway, but improved gouge is actually really good, so I recommend taking it. But if you want more damage, of course, you just go Deadliness. So yeah, that's all of your talent builds for Rogue. I know there are a couple other talent builds for PvE specifically that you would use once you're at Nax or AQ levels of gear, but we won't be there for a while, so I'm not worrying about it yet. I'll cover that later. But thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll probably cover some of the other classes' talents as well, so be looking forward to that. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.